Hey there, friends. Good morning to you on this terrific Tuesday. It is September 22nd, and I am here with you to get started on our language and literacy lesson for today. As always, please grab your CJs. We are going to write what we will be doing today. It is LoE 21, Part 1. So please take a moment, find the language and literacy section in your CJ, and write the following: LoE 21, Part 1. Yes, we are starting a new lesson today, but we are only doing the first half. We're doing Part 1, and we will continue and complete Part 2 tomorrow. So take a moment and write this. Thank you. All right. So I'm hoping you've had a chance to do that. You can always pause and take all the time that you need since this is a recorded video. That's the neat thing about doing our lessons this way this week, is we are not pressed for time. All right. So what I'd like to start with is a bit of review, just looking at the letter that we learned yesterday, which was U, our letter U. This letter deserves a bit of review because it makes 4 sounds. Let's review those 4 sounds. A, U, oo, I would like you at home to repeat after me. Let's do those 4 sounds one more time. U is a, U, oo, Now, the 2 tricky sounds, and they're very similar, but they are a little bit different. You have as in the word up and as in put. Can you hear that difference? Try that at home, please. Make just those 2 sounds, and Good. That's our letter U. Our letter U. Is it a vowel or a consonant? Can you remember our test? How can we tell if a phonogram is a vowel or a consonant? Well, we know that our vowels make a sound that we can sing. And when we do that, our mouths are wide open to make that sound. Let's test it out with our letter U. How about the sound not really. How about you? Yeah, I can sing you. How about ooh? I can sing that. How about Not really, but there were 2 sounds in there that we could sing. So yes, our letter U is a vowel. It makes the U and oo sound that we can sing. U is a vowel. Good. Let's take out our whiteboards, please, and a marker or your lined sheet of paper and pencil, and let's get a little bit of practice writing the letter U. Because we learned it yesterday, I think it deserves a bit more of our time. Let's write the letter U 3 times on our paper. Let's remember how we form the proper strokes. We're going to start at our midline, and we are going to swing down to the baseline, swing up to the midline, and come straight back down. Let's write that 3 times at home for some good review. I'll do the same here. All right. So your board should look something like this. I have my 3-letter U's. I think because I circled my favorite yesterday, I might star my favorite one today. I actually like this 3rd one. I think that one looks pretty good. I think that one's my favorite. Go ahead and star yours at home. Which one is your best letter U? Good. Okay. So we can set our whiteboards aside. Don't put them away. We're going to use them later, but we can set them aside now. And instead, I would like you to grab a pencil or something that you can write with, because we are going to move to our workbook. All right. So take a moment. Please find your Foundations A workbook. And when you have that in front of you, please turn to page 67. Find the number 67 on the bottom corner of your page there. It will look like this. You will have 8 pictures on this page. It will say Lesson 21. It's our new lesson today. We are on 21.1. And our first exercise that we're going to get into is, again, listening for and identifying the final sound. We started this yesterday. We're going to continue today to get more practice with identifying and listening for the final sound. Our final sound is the last sound you hear in a word. It finishes off our word. Okay? So we will listen for the sounds at the end of words today. You have this page with 8 pictures in front of you. Again, it looks like this. Let's take a look at what we have there. What do you see? I see a brush, a bug, a boat, leaf, car, desk, teeth, and crown. So now I will say a sound, and I need you to find the picture that ends in that sound. Okay? Make sure your name is on your paper. And we'll go ahead and begin. Remember, we're listening for a sound that's at the end of the word. Which word ends in the sound k? K. You might look at each of the pictures, say those words to yourself at home. When you say those words, listen to the ending sound on each one of them. Which word ends in the sound k? Yeah, desk. I think so too. Desk. I hear that k at the end. Let's segment our word to see if we're correct. Let's find that end sound as we unglue the individual sounds that make up that word. Desk is d-e-s-k. D-e-s-k. Yeah, I definitely hear that k at the end. Good. Now, please find the word that ends in the sound t. T. Look at those pictures. Say the words to yourself. Which word do you hear t at the end? Boat. Yes, boat, absolutely. So we can circle that one. Let's segment our word boat to see if we're correct. We're listening for that ending sound in boat. Try it with me at home. What are the sounds we hear in boat? B-O-T. B-O-T. Good. Moving on to our next word. Please find the word that ends in the sound th. Th. Wow, now this sound I made, th, that's not just one letter, is it? That's one of our blends. Do you hear that? Th. Which one? Teeth. Yes, I hear that. Teeth at the end. Let's segment our word teeth to make sure that we're correct. What are the sounds in the word teeth? T, E, th. T, E, th. Good. All right. Moving on to our next word. Please find the word that ends in the sound g. G. Look at those pictures on your page. Say the words to yourself. Which word ends in the sound G. Yeah, good. Good. Bug. Bug. That is the one. Go ahead and circle the picture of the bug. And now let's segment the word together. Listen for those individual sounds. The sounds in the word bug are b, a, g. B, a, g. Good. I hope you're doing this at home with me. All right. Let's look for our next word. Find the word that ends in the sound sh. Sh. Now that sound too, that's not just one letter, is it? That's one of our blends, our sh sound. Two letters come together to make that sound. Which one is it? Brush. Yes, you're right, brush. So now let's segment our word brush. We're going to listen for that ending sound. What are the sounds that make up the word brush? B, sh. B, sh. Good. Next word we're listening for ends in the sound n. N. Which word ends in n? Crown. Yes, crown ends in the sound n. Let's segment our word crown. Please do it at home with me. Our first sound k, ow, n. K, ow, n. You hear that? Yeah. All right. Now let's find the word that ends in the sound f. F. Which one's that? Leaf. Yes, leaf. Please circle that picture. And let's segment our word leaf. You ready? Do it with me. We hear the sounds l, e, f, l, e, f. Leaf. Good. All right. So taking a look at my page here, we have 8 pictures. At this point, we should have circled 7 out of the 8. That means there's 1 picture left uncircled. You at home, why don't you say the word? We can see very clearly what it is. It's car. Car. So out loud at home, tell the grown-up next to you or the person next to you, what is the ending sound that you hear in the word car? Yeah, car, our sound. Good. Yeah, so let's circle that picture of a car just to finish off our page. And let's segment that word, car. We hear the sounds k, k, r. Good. Good, friends. All right. That was our first page for lesson 21. All right. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to have you turn the page. We're going from here to the very next one, to the back. We're going to turn our page to page 68. This is the new letter that we are learning today. We're not yet writing on this page. We're not here yet. We have to be introduced to our new letter. But I'd like for you to be ready. So have this page ready to go. Set it aside, please. All right. And at this time, I would like you to please have your eyes on me, and look up here as we're introduced officially to our new letter for today, which you just saw. That's our letter J. The letter J, it only makes one sound, and that's J. J. Please say that sound at home with me. J. J. For the letter J. All right. Now, the letter J, is this one a vowel or a consonant? What do you think? Yeah, it's a consonant. It is a consonant. We reviewed just this morning with our letter U what our test was for determining if a phonogram is a vowel or a consonant. And I was thinking about it in my head when I go and look at the sound, listen for the sound that J makes, j, j. I know that I can't sing that sound. That doesn't make a pretty sound like a singing. I can't really open my mouth. J, no, doesn't work. So J is a consonant. It is a consonant. Yeah. All right. Let's look at our letter J a little bit more closely. Some more examples. We're going to turn to our Doodling Dragons book. We're going to open to our page with the letter J. And it only makes our one sound, J. All right, let's see some examples of words where we see the letter J and we can hear that. Gosh, I hope that's in frame here, friends. Okay, we have jittery jellyfish in a jar. Juggling jack jumps jaguar. Jittery jellyfish in a jar. Juggling jack jump jaguar. What are some other words at home that you can think of that begin with the letter J? Maybe tell your grown-up sitting there. What are some other words that you can think of? For some reason, my mind always goes to the word jam. Jam. I love jam on toast. I always think of J for jam. Okay. All right, so let's play with our letter J a little bit more. Let's see if I can get you up and moving at home. Hopefully you had a chance to do your math lesson today. Now that you're in our language and literacy, you might have been sitting for a little while. Maybe this is a good opportunity for you to get up a little bit here as we do an activity with our letter J. So I will say a word, and if it starts with the sound J that our letter J makes, I need you to get up and do a jumping jack. We're going to get up and do a jumping jack. What does that look like? You stand up, your hands come together, and your legs go out and then back, right? We know what a jumping jack is? Okay, perfect. So again, I'm going to say a word. You're listening for the sound that J makes, which is J. If the word starts with that sound, you're going to get up, do a jumping jack, and say J. All right, let's get started, friends. The first word is jump. Yeah, absolutely. We know that that starts with the J sound of J, so you should have gotten up right there, done a jumping jack. Good. Come back together, please. Sit back down and listen for the next word. It is game. Game. Yeah, that one does not start with the J sound, does it? In fact, it starts with our sound G, because game begins with the letter G. Good, so we're all seated for that one. Okay, the next word is deer. Deer. We're still seated for that word, aren't we? Yes. The beginning sound in deer is D. That's our letter D. So we're not jumping up on that one. Okay. Our next word is join. Join. Yeah, you should be up and jumping. We hear that J sound in join. You are joining me in this activity. It's great. Okay. So let's sit back down now. Okay. Listen in for our next word. It is smile. Smile. Yeah, our word smile, it doesn't begin in the J sound. We hear the sound S for our letter S for smile. So we're not jumping up on that one at home. But I hope you are smiling at home. That's always a good thing. All right. Our next word is jet. Jet. Yeah, you're up and jumping. I heard that too. Jet begins with our sound J. Good. Good. Come sit back down. We're refocusing. Let's listen for our next word. It is juice. Juice. Yep, we're up again. We're up again, jumping on that one. Juice begins with our sound J. Good. Come sit back down. Listening for our next word. Our next word is jam. Jam. Yep, you're up again. Awesome. All right. Getting some exercise this morning. Come on, sit back down, please. Listen for our next word. It is paint. Paint. Yeah, we're still seated with this one. Paint does not begin with the sound J. We hear a beginning sound P for the letter P because paint begins with the letter P. Good. Our next word is desk. Desk. Again, we remain seated on that one. Desk does not begin with the sound J. We hear our sound D for desk because it begins with the letter D. Good. All right. Our last word. We are on our last word. And this one is junk. Junk. Yeah. I hope you got up on that one. One more jumping jack. We ended on a fun note there because junk does begin with our J sound. Good. Good, friends. All right. Hopefully we got a little bit of energy out with that one. Always nice to get up and moving. Okay. So what I'd like to do now is have us grab our whiteboard and marker or your line sheet of paper and a pencil. We're going to learn how to write our letter J. So let's get some practice in with this one. See if I can find, there's my marker. Okay, so I am ready. I hope you at home have had a chance to grab your materials. Let's get into our letter J. Learn the proper strokes for how we write this one. Our letter J, if we're looking at our writing grid and our top line, midline, and baseline, begins at the midline. Yeah, it begins at the midline. So we're going to start at the midline. We're going to drop down halfway below the baseline. And we're going to have a small swoop up. Then you pick up your pencil and dot, just like that. Let's try one more time. We're going to start at the midline. Gosh, I hope you can see with my finger there. We're starting at the midline. We're going to drop down halfway below the baseline with a small swoop. We're going to pick up our pencil and dot. One more time. We're starting at the midline. We're dropping down halfway below the baseline with a small swoop. Pick up our pencil and dot. That's our letter J. Let's practice that one, please, 3 times. I'm going to do it at home as well. Starting at our midline, swinging down halfway below the baseline, small swoop, and I got my dot. And your paper should look something like this. Something like this for our letter J. I actually like my first one. I think my first one looks the best. I think I made these a little bit long. This one's a little bit long, but I like this first one. Why don't you at home go ahead, circle your favorite letter J. Which one looks the best, do you think? Yeah. When we're writing our letter J, it's important, friends, to remember that we start our letter J at the midline. We're starting here. We're not starting up here at the top line and ending at the baseline like this. That's actually a capital letter J. We're not learning how to write that. So remember, in this case, you're starting at the midline and you are dropping below the baseline. It should be hanging out here below the baseline. So please pay close attention to that as you're writing your letter J. Check your work and make sure that yours looks something like this first one. starting at the midline, you are dropping down below the baseline, and then you're coming back up and dotting. Good. A good check for yourself to make sure that you are writing it in the proper place in your writing grid is take a look at your dot. Is your dot between the midline and the top line? That's where it should be. Your dot should be halfway between the midline and the top line. So that's another way you can check your work. All right. Good. So what we can do now is come back over to our Foundations Aid workbook, which you should have still beside you because we had turned to the page previously that we needed to be on. We should have that already next to us there. Okay. So now we're going to do some more handwriting practice here on our page 68. Looks like this. Our handwriting practice 21.2 page. We're going to take our pencil and write the letter J 3 times on each line. Of course, you can start at the beginning. That's our smallest writing grid. Or if you would like, you can begin here on our bottom line here. This writing grid is the largest. If it's more comfortable for your hand to begin that way, absolutely start at the bottom. I like to start at the top. So I'm going to write my letter J 3 times like this. Please go ahead and write in your workbook at home at this time. I'm going to do mine here with you. And we're doing our best handwriting with this letter J. Our best handwriting. All right, friends. And if you have had a chance to complete your workbook page, it should look something like this now. Something like this. All right. Good job. Good job with our letter J today. We again looked at identifying our final sound. I think that's a great part 1 for our lesson 21. We are going to finish the second half of this lesson 21 tomorrow because we are going to do something new that takes a little bit more time. We are going to do some spelling analysis. We're going to move into some spelling words. Wow. Wow. We are really progressing this year. Okay, so we'll take some time with that tomorrow. At this point, if you have finished writing your letter J, you can go ahead, close your workbook. We are going to be done for today's language and literacy session, this first one. I will have another video posted for you for your reading with Miss Ferreira. You saw her yesterday, I hope. She is going to walk you through some fun stuff today on that second video. And I will see you for civics. Okay, friends, make sure you access those civics videos today, and I will see you again. Thank you so much for some good work.